Have you ever felt like there's something more to life? Like you're just scratching the surface of who you really are? Well, you're not alone. Deep inside each of us is a powerful force waiting to be awakened, our inner self. This hidden part of us holds the key to unlocking our true potential and living a life full of purpose and meaning. Today, we're going to explore how to awaken your inner self and tap into this incredible source of wisdom and power. Imagine waking up every morning feeling truly alive, connected to your deepest desires, and ready to face the world with confidence. That's what happens when you awaken your inner self. It's like discovering a superpower you never knew you had. This journey of self-discovery can transform every aspect of your life, from your relationships and career to your overall happiness and sense of fulfillment. But here's the thing, awakening your inner self isn't about learning a new skill or following a set of rules. It's about peeling back the layers of who you think you are to reveal your true essence. It's about listening to that quiet voice inside that often gets drowned out by the noise of everyday life. And the best part? This power is already within you, just waiting to be unleashed. In this video, we'll dive deep into the world of inner awakening. We'll explore what the inner self really is, why it's so important to awaken it, and most importantly, how you can start this incredible journey for yourself. Whether you're new to the idea of spirituality or you've been on this path for a while, there's something here for everyone. So, let's embark on this transformative journey together and unlock the amazing potential that lies within you. Before we dive into the how-tos, I want to share a personal story with you. A few years ago, I was living what many would consider a successful life. I had a good job, a nice home, and great friends. But deep down, I felt empty. It was like I was playing a role in someone else's life, not living my own. One day, while on a solo hiking trip, I found myself sitting on a mountaintop watching the sunrise. As the world around me slowly came to life, I felt a sudden shift inside. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and for the first time, I could see clearly. I realized that all this time, I had been living on autopilot, following a path that society had laid out for me, not the one my heart truly desired. In that moment of clarity, I connected with something deeper within myself, my inner self. It felt like coming home after a long journey. I suddenly understood that this part of me had always been there, quietly guiding me, but I had been too busy and distracted to listen. This experience changed everything for me. I started paying attention to my inner voice, trusting my intuition, and making choices that aligned with my true self. It wasn't always easy. There were times when I doubted myself or felt scared to make changes. But each time I listened to my inner self, amazing things happened. I found the courage to pursue my passions, build more authentic relationships, and live a life that felt truly meaningful to me. My journey of awakening my inner self didn't happen overnight. It was and still is an ongoing process of self-discovery, filled with ups and downs. But each step of the way has been incredibly rewarding. I found a sense of peace and purpose that I never knew was possible. And the best part? I know that this journey is available to everyone, including you. As I share my story, I want you to know that your journey will be unique to you. Your inner awakening might not happen on a mountaintop. It could be in the middle of a busy day, during a quiet moment at home, or even while you're doing something you love. The key is to be open to the experience and ready to listen when your inner self speaks. Now that we've talked about my personal experience, let's dive deeper into what the inner self really is. Think of your inner self as the core of your being, the truest, most authentic part of who you are. It's like the calm center in the middle of a storm, always there, steady and unchanging, even when everything around you is in chaos. Your inner self is not your thoughts or your emotions. It's not your job title, your roles in life, or the image you present to the world. Instead, it's the part of you that observes all of these things. It's the quiet awareness that exists behind your thoughts and feelings. Some people call it the soul, others refer to it as consciousness or the higher self. Whatever name you give it, this inner core is the essence of who you truly are. Imagine your mind as a sky and your thoughts and feelings as clouds passing by. Your inner self is like the vast open space of the sky itself, always present, always aware, no matter what kinds of clouds are moving through. It's the part of you that remains constant even as your thoughts, feelings, and circumstances change. Your inner self is also the source of your intuition, your deepest wisdom, and your connection to something greater than yourself. It's where your true values, passions, and purpose come from. When you're in touch with your inner self, you have a strong sense of who you are and what really matters to you. You feel more authentic, more alive, and more in harmony with the world around you. But here's the thing. In our busy, noisy world, it's easy to lose touch with this inner core. We get caught up in our daily responsibilities, our worries about the future, our regrets about the past. We focus on our outer appearance, our achievements, and what others think of us. All of this creates a kind of noise that drowns out the quiet voice of our inner self. That's why awakening your inner self is so important. It's about turning down the volume on all that external noise and tuning in to your inner wisdom. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning, false beliefs, and societal expectations to reveal your true essence. When you connect with your inner self, you start to see the world differently. You become less reactive to external events and more responsive to your inner guidance. You find it easier to make decisions that are right for you, even if they go against what others expect. You develop a deeper sense of compassion for yourself and others because you recognize the same inner light in everyone. Understanding your inner self is not about adding something new to who you are. It's about uncovering what's already there. It's like clearing away the dirt from a mirror. The mirror was always there, but now you can see your reflection clearly. As we go through this journey together, remember that your inner self is not something you need to create or become. It's already a part of you, waiting to be recognized and embraced. The process of awakening is simply about removing the obstacles that prevent you from seeing and connecting with this core part of your being. In the next sections, we'll explore why awakening your inner self is so important and how you can start this transformative journey. But for now, take a moment to sit quietly and acknowledge that within you is a wellspring of wisdom, peace, and potential. This is your inner self, the true you, waiting to be awakened. Now that we understand what the inner self is, you might be wondering, why should I bother awakening it? The truth is, connecting with your inner self can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Let's explore some of the incredible benefits that come from this awakening. First and foremost, Awakening your inner self brings a deep sense of peace and contentment. When you're in touch with your core being, you're less affected by the ups and downs of daily life. It's like finding a calm oasis in the middle of a hectic world. Imagine being stuck in traffic, but instead of feeling frustrated, you're able to stay calm and centered. That's the power of an awakened inner self. Another amazing benefit is increased clarity and confidence in decision-making. When you're connected to your inner self, you have a clearer sense of what's truly important to you. This makes it easier to make choices that align with your values and goals. Instead of second-guessing yourself or worrying about what others think, you'll feel more confident in your decisions. It's like having an inner compass that always points you in the right direction. Awakening your inner self also leads to more authentic relationships. When you're true to yourself, you naturally attract people who appreciate the real you. You'll find it easier to express your needs and boundaries, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. Imagine having friendships and partnerships where you feel fully seen and accepted for who you are. Moreover, connecting with your inner self often unleashes creativity and inspiration. Many people find that they become more imaginative and innovative in their work and hobbies. It's like tapping into a wellspring of ideas and insights that were always there, just waiting to be discovered. Perhaps one of the most profound benefits is a greater sense of purpose and meaning in life. When you're in touch with your inner self, you start to understand why you're here and what you're meant to do. This doesn't necessarily mean you'll suddenly know your life's mission, but you'll have a clearer sense of direction and feel more fulfilled in your daily activities. Lastly, awakening your inner self can improve your overall health and well-being. Many people report feeling more energized, sleeping better, and experiencing less stress and anxiety. It's as if aligning with your true self allows your body and mind to function more harmoniously. These benefits might sound almost too good to be true, but they're real experiences that many people have when they connect with their inner selves. Of course, awakening your inner self isn't a magic cure-all, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires patience, practice, and persistence. But the rewards are well worth the effort. While the benefits of awakening your inner self are incredible, it's not always an easy journey. There are several common obstacles that can block our path to inner awakening. Understanding these challenges is the first step to overcoming them. One of the biggest obstacles is simply being too busy. In our fast-paced world, we're often rushing from one task to another, barely taking time to breathe. We fill every moment with activity, leaving no space for quiet reflection. This constant busyness drowns out the quiet voice of our inner self. It's like trying to hear a whisper in a noisy room, nearly impossible. To overcome this, we need to consciously create pockets of stillness in our day. Even just 5 minutes of quiet time can make a big difference. Another common roadblock is overthinking. Many of us have minds that never seem to stop chattering. We're constantly analyzing, planning, worrying, or rehashing past events. This mental noise makes it hard to tune into our inner selves. It's like having a radio playing loudly all the time. You can't hear anything else. Learning to quiet our minds through practices like meditation can help us move past this obstacle. Fear is another significant barrier to inner awakening. We might be afraid of what we'll discover if we look deep within ourselves. What if we don't like what we see? What if we realize we need to make big changes in our lives? These fears can keep us from even starting the journey of self-discovery. Remember, your inner self is the source of your strength and wisdom. Connecting with it might bring changes, but these changes will ultimately lead to a more fulfilling life. Social conditioning also plays a big role in blocking our inner awakening. From a young age, we're taught to look outside ourselves for validation and direction. We learn to prioritize others' expectations over our own inner knowing. Breaking free from these ingrained patterns can be challenging, but it's essential for connecting with our true selves. Negative self-talk is yet another obstacle. Many of us have an inner critic that constantly judges and belittles us. This harsh voice can drown out the gentle wisdom of our inner self. Learning to recognize and challenge these negative thoughts is crucial for inner awakening. Lastly, impatience can be a significant hurdle. In our instant gratification culture, we often expect quick results, but awakening your inner self is a gradual process that unfolds over time. It requires patience and persistence. If we get frustrated and give up too soon, we miss out on the profound benefits of this journey. So, how can we overcome these obstacles? The key is awareness and gentle persistence. Start by simply noticing when these barriers show up in your life. Don't judge yourself for them. Everyone faces these challenges. Instead, see them as opportunities for growth. For busyness, try scheduling short breaks in your day for quiet reflection. For overthinking, experiment with simple mindfulness techniques like focusing on your breath. When fear arises, acknowledge it, but don't let it stop you. Remind yourself of the benefits waiting on the other side of that fear. To break free from social conditioning, practice listening to your own inner voice more often. When making decisions, ask yourself, what do I really want? Not, what should I do? For negative self-talk, try treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend. And remember, patience is key. Celebrate small steps and subtle shifts. Every moment of connection with your inner self, no matter how brief, is a victory. Now that we've explored the benefits of awakening your inner self and the common obstacles you might face, let's dive into the first practical step on this journey: quieting your mind. Quieting your mind is like clearing a cluttered room. When your living space is messy, it's hard to relax or find what you need. Similarly, when your mind is full of noise, it's difficult to hear the soft whispers of your inner self. By learning to quiet your mind, you create space for your inner wisdom to emerge. So how do you quiet a busy mind? One of the most effective techniques is mindfulness meditation. Don't worry if you've never meditated before. It's simpler than you might think. Here's a basic practice to get you started. Find a comfortable place to sit where you won't be disturbed. It could be a chair, a cushion on the floor, or even a quiet spot in nature. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Now, gently bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of breathing, the rise and fall of your chest, the air moving through your nostrils. You don't need to control your breath, just observe it naturally. As you focus on your breath, you'll probably notice that thoughts start popping up. This is completely normal. The goal isn't to stop thinking entirely, which is impossible, but to change your relationship with your thoughts. When you notice a thought, simply acknowledge it without judgment, and then gently bring your attention back to your breath. It's like saying, "Oh, there's a thought. and then refocusing on your breathing. Start with just 5 minutes of this practice. You can gradually increase the time as you get more comfortable with it. Remember, it's not about achieving a completely blank mind. It's about learning to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Another powerful technique for quieting your mind is body scanning. This involves systematically bringing your attention to different parts of your body, from your toes to the top of your head. As you focus on each area, notice any sensations present: tension, warmth, tingling, or just a neutral feeling. This practice helps ground you in the present moment and out of your busy thoughts. Spending time in nature can also be incredibly effective for quieting the mind. Take a walk in a park, sit by a stream, or simply stand barefoot on the grass. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Nature has a way of slowing down our mental chatter and helping us feel more connected to ourselves and the world around us. Another simple but powerful practice is to take regular, mindful moments throughout your day. Set a reminder on your phone to pause for 30 seconds every hour. During this time, take a few deep breaths and bring your attention to the present moment. Notice how you're feeling, what's happening around you, and any sensations in your body. These brief pauses can help break the cycle of constant thinking and create space for inner awareness. Remember, quieting your mind is a skill that takes practice. Don't get discouraged if your mind feels extra noisy at first. This is completely normal. In fact, many people report that they seem to have more thoughts when they first start practicing mindfulness. This isn't because you're doing it wrong. It's because you're becoming more aware of the thoughts that were always there. As you continue to practice, you'll likely notice that the gaps between thoughts start to grow longer. You might experience moments of profound quiet and peace. These are glimpses of your inner self shining through. Quieting your mind doesn't mean you'll never have thoughts or that you should try to suppress them. It's about creating a different relationship with your thoughts. Instead of being carried away by every idea or worry that pops into your head, you learn to observe your thoughts with a sense of calm detachment. This skill of mental quietude is invaluable in daily life. When faced with a difficult decision, you'll be able to cut through the mental noise and tune into your inner wisdom. In stressful situations, you'll find it easier to stay calm and centered. And in moments of joy, you'll be more present to fully experience and appreciate them. Remember, the goal of quieting your mind isn't to achieve some perfect state of blissful emptiness. It's to create space. Space for your inner self to be heard, space for intuition to arise, space for creativity to flow. As you practice these techniques, you're laying the foundation for a deeper connection with your inner self. In the next section, we'll explore how to listen to your feelings, another crucial step in awakening your inner self. But for now, I encourage you to start incorporating some of these mind-quieting practices into your daily routine. Even just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Be patient with yourself, approach it with curiosity rather than judgment, and notice how your relationship with your thoughts begins to shift over time. Now that we've learned how to quiet our minds, let's explore the next crucial step in awakening your inner self: listening to your feelings. Our feelings are like messengers from our inner self, providing valuable guidance and insight. However, in our busy lives, we often push these feelings aside or ignore them completely. Learning to tune into and understand our emotions is a powerful way to connect with our inner wisdom. Think of your feelings as an inner compass. Just as a compass always points north, your feelings always point towards what's true for you. They can guide you towards what's right for you and away from what's not serving you. But to use this compass effectively, we need to learn how to read it. The first step in listening to your feelings is simply to acknowledge them. Many of us have been taught to suppress or ignore our emotions, especially the ones we label as negative. But every feeling has a message for us, even the uncomfortable ones. Start by taking a few moments each day to check in with yourself. Ask, how am I feeling right now? Don't judge or try to change your feelings, just notice them. Once you've acknowledged your feelings, the next step is to get curious about them. Instead of immediately reacting to an emotion or trying to push it away, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? For example, if you're feeling anxious about a decision, your anxiety might be pointing out that you need more information before moving forward. If you're feeling angry in a situation, your anger might be signaling that a boundary has been crossed. It's also important to notice where you feel emotions in your body. Do you feel anxiety as a tightness in your chest? Does joy bubble up as a warmth in your heart? Does stress show up as tension in your shoulders? By tuning into these physical sensations, you can become more attuned to your emotions even before you consciously recognize them. Another powerful practice is journaling. Spend a few minutes each day writing about your feelings. Don't worry about grammar or structure. Just let your thoughts and emotions flow onto the page. This can help you process your feelings and often leads to insights you might not have reached through thinking alone. Remember, the goal isn't to always feel positive emotions. Every feeling has its place and purpose. The aim is to develop a healthy relationship with all your emotions, understanding that they're all part of the human experience and valuable messengers from your inner self. As you practice listening to your feelings, you might notice patterns emerging. Perhaps certain situations consistently bring up particular emotions. These patterns can offer valuable insights into your needs, values, and areas for growth. Listening to your feelings doesn't mean being controlled by them. It's about acknowledging them, understanding their messages, and then choosing how to respond. With practice, you'll find that you become more emotionally balanced, more in tune with your inner self, and better equipped to navigate life's challenges. As we continue our journey of awakening the inner self, we come to a crucial step, following your intuition. Intuition is often described as a gut feeling, a hunch, or an inner knowing. It's that quiet voice inside that guides you, often without logical explanation. Learning to recognize and trust this inner voice is a powerful way to connect with your inner self. Intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. At first, you might doubt your intuitive feelings or struggle to distinguish them from random thoughts. But with practice, you'll learn to recognize the unique quality of intuitive guidance. One way to start developing your intuition is to pay attention to your first impressions. When you meet someone new or encounter a new situation, notice your initial feeling. Often, our intuition speaks to us in that first moment, before our logical mind has time to analyze and second guess. Another technique is to practice making small decisions based on your intuition. For example, when choosing between two activities for the day, pause for a moment, close your eyes and ask yourself, which option feels right? Notice which choice gives you a sense of expansion or lightness. That's often your intuition pointing the way. It's important to distinguish between intuition and fear or wishful thinking. Intuition typically comes with a sense of calm knowing, even if it's guiding you towards something challenging. Fear, on the other hand, often feels constricting and is usually accompanied by a lot of what-if thoughts. Wishful thinking might feel exciting, but it lacks the grounded quality of true intuition. Meditation can be a powerful tool for enhancing your intuition. As you quiet your mind, you create space for intuitive insights to arise. After your meditation practice, try asking yourself a question you've been pondering. Notice what thoughts or feelings bubble up in response. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean ignoring logic or practical considerations. Instead, it's about integrating your intuitive wisdom with your rational thinking. When faced with a decision, gather the facts you need, but also check in with your gut feeling. Often, the best decisions come from a combination of head and heart. As you start following your intuition more, you might face doubts or fears. This is normal. Our logical minds often resist intuitive guidance, especially if it's leading us out of our comfort zone. Remember, your intuition is connected to your inner self, that wise, eternal part of you that knows what's best for your growth and happiness. Keep a journal of your intuitive experiences. Write down times when you followed your intuition and what the outcome was. Over time, you'll likely see a pattern of positive results that will help build your trust in this inner guidance system. Following your intuition is not about being reckless or ignoring reality. It's about tapping into a deeper wisdom that goes beyond surface-level information. As you practice trusting and following your intuitive guidance, you'll find yourself making choices that are more aligned with your true self and your deepest values. Awakening your inner self is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. To truly connect with and nurture your inner self, it's important to incorporate practices into your daily life. Here are some simple yet powerful practices you can start implementing today. Morning reflection. Start your day with a few minutes of quiet reflection. Before you check your phone or start your daily tasks, take a moment to tune in to yourself. Ask, how am I feeling today? What does my inner self need? This sets a tone of self-awareness for the day ahead. Mindful breathing. Throughout the day, take short breaks to focus on your breath. Even just 3 deep, conscious breaths can help center you and reconnect you with your inner self. You can do this while waiting in line, sitting at a red light, or before starting a new task. Nature connection. Spend time in nature regularly, even if it's just a few minutes in a local park. Nature has a way of quieting our minds and opening us up to our inner wisdom. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, and smells around you. This practice grounds you in the present moment and can provide a sense of peace and perspective. Gratitude practice. Each evening, take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in our lives, aligning us more closely with our inner selves. Try writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Body scan. Before bed, do a quick body scan. Lie down and bring your attention to each part of your body, from your toes to the top of your head. Notice any sensations or areas of tension. This practice helps you tune into your physical self, which is closely connected to your inner self. Creative expression. Engage in some form of creative activity regularly. This could be drawing, writing, dancing, singing, or any other form of expression that feels good to you. Creative activities often bypass our logical minds and allow our inner selves to express freely. Intuition. Check-ins. When faced with decisions throughout the day, pause and check in with your intuition. Ask yourself, what feels right here? Practice following these intuitive nudges, even in small matters. Digital detox. Set aside some time each day to disconnect from technology. This could be during meals, the first hour after waking up, or the last hour before bed. Use this time to be present with yourself or your loved ones without digital distractions. Self-compassion. Break. When you're feeling stressed or upset, practice self-compassion. Place a hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, "This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment." This practice nurtures your relationship with your inner self. Evening review. Before sleep, take a few minutes to review your day. Notice moments when you felt connected to your inner self and times when you felt disconnected. Reflect on what you learned and set an intention for the next day. Remember, the key to these practices is consistency, not perfection. You don't need to do all of them every day. Start with one or two that resonate with you and gradually incorporate more as they become habits. The goal is to create regular touch points throughout your day where you connect with your inner self. As you consistently practice these techniques, you'll likely notice subtle shifts in your daily life. You might find yourself feeling more centered, making decisions with greater ease, or experiencing a deeper sense of peace and purpose. These are all signs that you're strengthening your connection with your inner self. As we come to the end of our exploration of awakening your inner self, it's important to remember that this is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. The path of connecting with your inner self is one of continual growth, discovery, and transformation. Throughout this journey, we've explored the concept of the inner self, that core essence of who you truly are. We've discussed the immense benefits of awakening this part of yourself, from finding inner peace and clarity to unlocking your true potential and living a more authentic life. We've also looked at the common obstacles that can block our path to inner awakening, such as busyness, overthinking, and fear. By recognizing these challenges, we can start to overcome them and clear the way for a deeper connection with our inner selves. We've delved into practical steps and techniques for awakening your inner self. We learned how to quiet our minds through meditation and mindfulness, creating space for our inner wisdom to emerge. We explored the importance of listening to our feelings and tuning into the messages they carry. We discussed how to recognize and follow our intuition, trusting that inner voice that guides us towards what's right for us. Finally, we looked at daily practices that can help nurture and strengthen our connection with our inner selves. These simple yet powerful habits can transform our daily lives, helping us stay centered and aligned with our true essence. As you continue on this path of inner awakening, remember to be patient and kind with yourself. This journey is not about reaching perfection or achieving a constant state of bliss. It's about developing a deeper understanding of yourself, cultivating self-compassion, and living in alignment with your true values and purpose. There will be days when you feel deeply connected to your inner self, and days when that connection feels distant. This is all part of the process. The key is to keep showing up, to keep turning inward with curiosity and openness. Awakening your inner self is one of the most profound and rewarding journeys you can undertake. It's a path that leads to greater self-awareness, authenticity, and fulfillment. As you connect more deeply with your inner self, you'll likely find that you not only transform your own life, but also positively impact those around you. So take that first step. Start with one practice that resonates with you. Listen to that quiet voice within. Trust your intuition. Be patient with the process. And most importantly, enjoy the journey of discovering and awakening your true self. Remember, the wisdom you seek, the peace you crave, the strength you need, it's all already within you, waiting to be awakened. Your inner self is your greatest guide and ally in this beautiful journey called life. Embrace it, nurture it, and watch as your life unfolds in ways more magnificent than you ever imagined.